Welcome back, Junior College Hard 90, episode 7. After a 2-week hiatus, Noah Sharp, Zach McKinstry, we are back to talk NJCAA baseball. Noah, good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. I am back on the good old school bus again this week. The timing worked that way, but I'm glad to be back on the mics. I know I took a break from my show myself last week, so getting on the airways the past 2 days has been pain on the vocal cords, but I enjoy it. So, hey, I'm ready to talk junior college baseball just like anyone else.
Yeah, it's been busy. The bus suits you, I'll tell you that much. It fits the vibe that you got going on. Last week, busy week out in Denton, Texas. Thanks for everybody that attended the NJCAA convention. A lot of great discussions, a lot of which surrounding baseball in those sport committee meetings. So excited to have got that done. And now we get into the thick of it in the NJCAA baseball landscape, and a lot of fantastic battles in Texas last week. In D1. So Midland got things going last Monday in a slugfest against McLennan. The Chaps won 19-14. Catcher Caleb Boswell had 5 RBIs and 2 extra base hits in that game. And then the Highlanders responded by splitting their 4 games against Weatherford, capped off with a 4-home run inning in their 10-2 finale. So as a result of all of that, the conference standings in Region 5 are tight. Weatherford and Grayson still neck and neck in North Texas, and Midland, Odessa, and New Mexico all still in the race for the top bid in the West.
So if anyone knows, Region 5 holds a very near spot in my heart. That it was my introduction to junior college baseball. So I will always love that region. The West this year, even talking with coaches, they thought, the North was going to be crazy with Midland and McLennan. Weren't so sure what Grayson was going to do, but thought they could pull it off. But the West has surprised a lot of people. I think right now, let's see, let me read this off. So all 3 of the top seeds basically are locked in. Midland, Odessa, and NMJC. I don't think there's any way they can fall out. The real thing in the West right now is the 4 seed. Howard's currently, I think they're 7 games back of first, and El Paso is 2 games behind them. Howard has, I believe, Odessa this weekend. El Paso has Clarendon. So in theory, El Paso's probably in the nicer seat. They started really hot, kind of fell off short, but have stayed right there in the race the whole time. But really, it's really just who's going to get the 1 through 3. It's kind of a coin flip for those 3 right now. But then it's going to come down to who's going to get that 4 seed with Howard and with El Paso. And then in the North, with Weatherford, they're off this week conference-wise, but they have Vernon next week, which is good for them. Grayson took 2 from Cisco yesterday, who's right behind them. Then they have 2 against them this weekend, and then they're off next weekend. While McLennan has Vernon this weekend and North Central Texas next weekend. So really, Weatherford kind of is in that driver's seat. I know they're tied up at the leaderboards right now. Granted, Grayson has those 2 games on them this week. So Weatherford's kind of in the driver's seat, but it's kind of they need the other 2 to kind of slip up. McLennan really has a nice look just with Vernon, but Vernon's no slouch. They split yesterday, I believe. But it's going to be down to the wire on who's going to be the teams, or just the teams are in there, but just where they're going to fall and who that first round matchup is going to be.
Region 5 stays hot. And one team we haven't talked about this year in D1 baseball is the Hartford Fighting Owls. How about 18 straight wins and finally starting to get some love in the NJCAA poll? They received votes at 45-7, the overall record, with 4 games left before the Region 20 tournament. The 2022 and 16 East District champ starting to make some noise again.
So Hartford is a team that, so first off, if anyone knows me and knows jerseys, I own a Hartford Owl pullover. I was planning to wear that. I completely forgot it. That's on me. But I do own it, and it is awesome. Those guys are awesome over there. The old staff, the new staff, great guys. Where Hartford always seems to get a little bit disrespected is they play up in the Northeast. If you know about the Northeast, the Division II and the Division III schools are just as tough. It's just different fundings on why they are how they are or what division they are. So they'll have these crazy records, but you've played 30 Division II teams and Division III teams. So are you really that good? I mean, they've gone to the World Series twice in the last, 10 years? 22, they were killing it. It's just, they kind of get overlooked a little bit. They always have a really good offense. They play on a little bit of a smaller park, but they know how to hit there. It's a really nice facility, a really nice field. They get guys going where they need to go. And I would not be surprised if it comes down to the trio of Flodar, Gaston, and Hartford fighting for that one spot to go to Grand Junction this year.
Yeah, Region 10 with some competition in that East District. Lastly, for D1, Walter State leaps up to number 2 in the NJCAA poll after 9 straight wins. And over that span, the Senators are averaging nearly 19 runs per game, and they are well on their way to another massive win while we record this today. So another team that has missed out on Grand Junction since 2022, but with 96 homers on the year, this squad seems to have the firepower to make it back.
So the crazy thing for them this year is, I believe he's a redshirt freshman. His name's Tyler Myatt. He's having, to say a historic year is like an understatement. The last time I remember a guy doing what he's done was, I believe it was 2018 or 2019. A guy by the name of Cale Baker was at Wabash Valley, was actually on, I believe, the Ole Miss national championship team when they won it. But he is not just leading the NJCAA Division I side of junior college baseball in home runs. He's leading all of junior college baseball. That is California, that is the NWAC, that is Division II, Division III. He is leading the entire country in home runs right now. I believe he's at 25, unless he hit one in the last 24 hours when the last I looked at it, and he's hitting north of 500. Again, last time I've seen that happen was Cale Baker. He's having a historic year that not a lot probably saw coming, but if you know the kid, you probably, you saw it coming.
Yeah, that team's certainly getting it done at the plate as we move to Division II. Nowhere else to start in D2, but with the top dog, Pasco Hernando. 5 weeks in a row at the top of the NJCAA standings. A ranked Division I win over Florida Southwestern and a ranked series win over St. John's River State last week. They only got one series left against FCS Jacksonville before they get ready for their region tournament, but they've already clinched the conference title and are inching closer to making it back to Enid for the first time since 2019.
So Pasco Hernando, okay. I was actually having this conversation with someone like a week ago, or earlier this week. They asked me who the best team in Florida is. Not by division, and I answered the question first. I said, these are probably the best Division I teams, but then Division II, and then me being me, as everyone knows, I can just talk. And then it led to basically Pasco Hernando State sitting right now is probably the best team in Florida, any division. They haven't dropped any series they shouldn't. They might have dropped a game here or there, obviously, but they haven't been swept. They haven't shown up and played a team that they should run away with and end up getting swept. They've consistently shown up, done what they need to do, won the tight games. I know I was not showing them as much respect as I probably should have earlier on in the year, which I think I have them at 3 right now in mine, but they are going to be a force for whoever comes out of Alabama. I know Wallace Dothan was really high, and they've come on strong the latter half of the year, but whoever's coming out of Alabama this year is going to have to face a juggernaut, and it's going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah, D2's getting exciting as well. In Mississippi, Pearl River keeps rolling. I watched their hot dog promotion on Twitter, too. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It was great stuff. But only 6 losses on the year for Pearl River and 2 games in front of Jones, while East Central falls a few spots following a loss at Colin and at home against Northeast Mississippi. And a massive doubleheader test coming today for Jones against Pearl River. So how do you see the MACCC shaping out?
I've said this a billion times on this show. I've said it a billion times on my show. I love the Mississippi MACCC tournament. It is my favorite thing to watch every year because anything can happen. Chaos always happens. And now with LSU Eunice not being in it, even more chaos is going to happen. And I'm so here for it. It could be Pearl River could slip up. I don't see how they could, but they could slip up this week and then be a 2, but then go on a tear. I don't see how one of the 2 at-large bids isn't going to come out of Mississippi this year. I doubt 2 will, but if one of them isn't, I would be very, very surprised.
Yeah, let's move down to Division III. Niagara, perfect 37-0 this year. RCSJ Cumberland's on an 11-game win streak after sweeping Northampton a few weeks ago. And then Hudson Valley loses only their 2nd game of the year, but they're at 5th in the D3 standings. So what's the latest Division III update, Noah?
Niagara is, I guess, okay. They're not, I've had them 1 basically all year. I have loved them from everyone I've talked to in the country, in the region. A lot of them said might be one of the best teams that they've seen. I mean, 37 in a row is no slouch at all. They are approaching the 2009 record of wins at the junior college level. I believe that was 57 from Howard. Hey, go Region 5. But that record is also up for grabs this year. This is a junior college show, but power in NAIA. LSU Shreveport right now is, I believe, at like 43 or 45. And so I believe, I could be wrong, but I think that win streak record and the total wins, they were 63-1 that year. But I believe that is one of the only records in college baseball history that is at a junior college. I'm pretty sure that's the only one. I could be wrong, but with Niagara doing what they're doing, I could see them getting very, very close to that record, if not passing it, which would hurt me, but I'd be okay to see it fall for that team. So,
yeah, SUNY Niagara has really opened a lot of eyes this year, 37-0, still sitting at number 2 in the NJCAA poll, but we'll see if they jump RCSJ Gloucester at some point before the end of the season. Next up, we got the upcoming matchups starting next week and starting this weekend. So stay tuned for that one. We're back from a break here in a moment.
For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
Good morning.
Why so serious? Great shot.
Car was 250. You got it.
Greenside bunker, land short.
Trust your line. There's plenty of green.
Brakes towards the water.
Lots of coaching today, huh? We're one up.
When you strive to be the best, you need the right insights. Zurich has insurance solutions and risk strategies to help prepare your business for tomorrow.
We're back. Junior College Hard 90 on the NJCAA Network and NJCAA YouTube. Let's dive into some upcoming matchups, starting with D1. A couple of big-time series this weekend. Number 6 Midland against New Mexico Junior College. That's a big one in Region 5. You got round 2 of number 1 LSU Eunice taking on Delgado this weekend, and then number 21 Central Florida against number 7 Indian River State, the biggest matchups on the D1 slate. So what are some notes from those games for you, Noah?
So I've kind of already hit on that Midland, New Mexico, and on the just how Region 5 is shaping up right now. I didn't think LSU Eunice would drop another game until this Delgado series. I was wrong. They dropped one to Baton Rouge like 2 weeks ago. But for Central Florida and Indian Rivers, this one in the Citrus Conference is really interesting because Indian Rivers right now is number 1 in the conference. I think they're a few games up. Central Florida, I believe, is a 3, but they're like 1 or 2 games out of that 4th spot. And so for them, how Florida does it, the top 2 from the Panhandle get in, the top 3 from the Citrus get in, and then there's one play-in game between the 4 seed of the Citrus and the 3 seed of the Panhandle. So Central Florida is sitting right there at that. You'd rather be an automatic bid, automatic qualifier, I guess is a better way to put it. But they are sitting right there at that. Do we have to play an at-large game? Do we get that automatic bid? They're kind of sitting right there. So it's big for both of them. I don't think Indian Rivers can drop any lower than 2, but it's going to say a lot for seeding there in Florida with that Region 8 tournament coming up here soon.
Yeah, it's winding down really quick this regular season. Same with D2. Number 3 South Mountain takes on number 9 Pima. It's only one game on Friday, and it's the penultimate game of the regular season for Pima. Number 9 versus number 3 big-time D2 contest.
Their series, I am pretty sure they're 3-3 against each other, or they're 6-6. They're tied. This is going to be a battle of the 2 top teams. South Mountain, I believe, won the regular season last year, but then Pima won the regional title last year. I'm pretty sure that's how it shaped up, or at the Division 1 level. So then both these 2 teams dropping down to Division 2, it's going to be lights out. I wouldn't doubt these 2 being in the region final, and then whoever comes out of Oklahoma that comes over, because I believe the West is hosting this year, that's going to be a series, like I've said a couple times now, that's going to be a West District final that is going to be electric, regardless of kind of the top teams from Oklahoma or it's the top 2 from Arizona. It's going to be awesome to watch those 2.
Yeah, we'll see how that region shakes out. D3, I know you talked about it on your show, but Northampton and Camden, one of the big D3 matchups this week.
Yeah, they've kind of had different stories this year. So Camden started slow, but then really came on hot kind of the middle part of the season. Northampton started really hot, I think both myself and y'all had them in the top 5 or top 10 at one point, and has really kind of fallen off this last couple weeks. But both those teams are looking to kind of get their foot back on the gas and get going in Region 19, and especially in that Region 19 playoffs when you have Gloucester, when you have Cumberland's, like it's you need to take any win you can coming down the stretch. And I know Camden for sure is ready to. I think they played earlier in this year too, and I think they split maybe. I don't remember their 2 records off the top of my head as well as some other ones, but it's going to be a good one in the Division 3 series or realm of things, I guess.
Yep, plenty to tune into across all 3 divisions as we move closer and closer to those region tournaments. So that wraps up the upcoming segment. Coming up, we've got the Junior College Hard 90. Noah Sharp talks NJCAA baseball. Plenty to rant about after the hiatus the last couple of weeks. So stay with us. We're back in a moment.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Back one final time on Junior College Hard 90. Noah Sharp, a minute and a half to rant. Go ahead.
My list is shorter this week. I will make it. I have not the last 3. I will make it. But, okay, perfect game. Alexandria Tech, the first one in school history. And it's not your normal 5-inning perfect game, you know. It is a 7-inning perfect game by Deshaun Robinson, 15 Ks. So, dude showed up. Dude balled out. Another big pitching performance from Adam Baker from Cleveland State. A complete game shutout. Now, a lot of junior college complete game shutouts are 5 innings or 7. Now, this was 9 innings with 9 Ks and 3 hits and no walks against Dyersburg State. So that's awesome there. We mentioned him earlier in Tyler Myatt from Walther State, but this past week he was 10 for 17, 18 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 3 home runs. And this is not the first time I've seen this stat line from him in a week. So the dude's killing it. And then to wrap it up, you always got to give the coaches the shine they need, because this level is just as much about them as it is about the players. But Northampton's head coach, Adrian Yagiz, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I probably butchered it, but he became the all-time winningest coach actually this last Tuesday with win number 434 in a 12-2 win over Bergen. He became his overall record now is 434 and 222, passing the Hall of Fame coach there before him, John Sweeney, who finished his career 433 and 183. So, hey, again, we mentioned them a little bit earlier. So, and I don't think he has any time or sign of stopping anytime soon. But I mean, it's always great to hit those milestones as a coach.
Yeah, that's a cool moment for him. Cool milestone to reach. And how about 18 RBIs in a week? That is nothing to laugh at. Impressive stuff there as we wrap up this week's episode. So Noah, thanks for joining me once again. Excited as we move closer and closer to playoffs, and appreciate your time.
No problem.
We're back again next week, recapping the final regular season games and getting you ready for those region tournaments. See you next Thursday on JUCO Hard 90.